Dear children, today we will be continuing with the chapter Industries, and in this chapter, we will be doing distribution of industries. Like other industries, iron and steel industry too comprises various input processes, input, process, and output. So, input is the raw material, capital, and labor, while the process is assembly and producing a processing of all the raw material and the packaging. Everything is under processing, and the whatever is the output is goes to the market. So output is the product and the marketer, which includes the feedback also. The inputs for the industry include raw materials such as iron ore, coal, and limestone, along with labor, capital, site, and other infrastructure. Now, these are all iron ore, coal, and limestone. These are the raw material which are used by the labor when they are given certain amount of money. That is, labor means worker. And then we have the site. Site means the area where the industry has been set up or the factory has been set up. And with other infrastructure, which include other infrastructure is hospitals, schools, and the various other facilities that the employee is providing. Now let us come to the iron and steel industry, which is also known as the backbone of the economy. Let us see the reason why. The iron and steel industry is a basis for the development of a number of industries in the global economy. So now, as the iron and steel is used in most of the things, like for construction of buildings, for rail, for transport purpose, for road construction of roads, building of spaceships, ships, aeroplanes, and railroads, as well as bogies. So hence it is the it that is the reason it is used for the in the global economy. And the defense industry for building tanks and arms and ammunition, helicopters, and everything, which is for the defense purpose. Now the industry is also this all construction is for heavy engineering and energy construction, as I already have told you. Aeronautical and shipping construction. Aeronautical includes the building of spaceships as well as commercial ships. And ships are those which are big cruise liners or cargo ships, which move things from one place to another. Moreover, the iron and steel industry is closely related to chemical industry and light industry. So now, if you see, the iron and steel is used for not only in our day-to-day usage, but life, but also it has used in chemical industries, where certain chemicals are stored in aluminium, and certain chemicals are stored in aluminium containers. And the light industry, if you see a bulb, what is bulb? It has certain things. It has certain. It has certain metallic substance, like the filament that is there in the bulb, the holder that is there, which is also again used for from the iron and steel industry. It shows that the iron and steel industry has the potential to contribute to the competitiveness of national producers and to the growth of national economy. Hence, as it encourages, and it is giving a lot of output in terms of profit, and in the growth of the nation economically. It is iron and steel industry is known as the backbone of economic development, not only in India but also worldwide. See, there are certain iron and steel industry. This is the iron and steel industry. That is, you can say TISCO, Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited. Now there are certain areas in the world which have a lot of iron and steel industry. Like, if you see this in United States, this is a cluster of iron and steel industry. Here again in Canada, again in Canada, again in United States, again in United States, in South America, in Brazil. Then there are certain in Germany. Germany is not here. Sorry, in Germany, in Portugal, England, and in India, this is the Tesco plant. Japan is also there, Osaka, Australia, and in there are certain iron and steel in factories in China too, Russia, Mongolia. Okay, so these are the worldwide. South Africa. These are the iron and steel industries of the world. India is the largest producer of sponge iron in the world and the third largest finished steel consumer in the world after China and USA. So now India is the largest producer of iron and steel, and hence it also not only it produces iron and steel, but also it consumes consumes iron and steel in the way that we use steel utensils जानते हो ना क्या होता है बर्तन जिसमें जैसे पतीला जिसमें चाय बनती है, गैस, ये सब आपके आयरन एंड स्टील से बनते हैं. सो दैट इज द रीजन स्टील कंज्यूमर. ओके, sponge iron is known as steel, and the largest producer of sponge this is consumer is China, USA, and then India. The growth in the Indian steel sector has been driven by domestic availability of raw materials such as iron ore and cost-effective labor. So now, why is in India iron and steel sector iron and steel so good? Because of the availability of the raw material of iron and ore, and also the cost effective, that is reasonable. You can give reasonable salary to the laborers in India, while in USA and other countries you have to give a high amount of salary. Now let us come to the process, how this is made. Transport of raw material to the plant. First, the raw material is transported to the plant. Then, in a blast furnace, iron ore is melted. Then, limestone is fluxing material which is added. Slag is removed. Coke is burnt to heat the ore. So now, limestone is included in the blast furnace so that it becomes more hard and there is no rusting. Then slag, it is the substance which is an impurity. It is removed, and then the coke is burnt. That is, this coke means iron ore with the mixture of limestone is burnt, and then it is heated again. Pig iron. Then when this is there, it becomes a pig iron, which means molten matter is poured into molds are called pigs. Like you have molds na, साँचे. मोल्ड मीन्स साँचे. तो उसमें अगर आप अलग अलग किस्म के बर्तन बना सकते हो आफ्टर गिविंग द आफ्टर द after the iron is melted and it is in the liquid state. So you can give it a different shape, and these molds are called pigs. जो साँचे होते हैं उनको हम कहते हैं pig. Shaping metal, rolling, pressing, casting, and forging. So now, in when after giving the material mold or shaping the iron ore, what is there? We roll, that is roll में smoothing होती है, pressing में होता है कि shine आए, casting में होता है polishing, and then again if there is some impurity, again it is sent to the forge. Like अगर किसी में handle लगाना है तो forge में जाके वो handle लगाया जाता है. Steel making. Pig iron is further purified and oxidizing the impurities. Manganese, nickel, chromium is added. So now after pig iron is further, again it is purified because there are many impurities. Okay. So what happens to make a pig iron into a steel? We again purify it and all the impurities are removed, and the salts or metal salts that are added are manganese, nickel, chromium, so that it gives a luster. Luster means shine. Some of the major iron and steel plants of India are as follows. Tata Iron and Steel Company, TISCO. This is the oldest iron and steel center of India. Indian Iron and Steel Company, ISCO. The Vishwaeshwari Iron and Steel Limited. And these and there's some iron and steel, small iron and steel plants in Bhilai, Rourkela, that is in Odisha. Bhilai is in Assam. Again, Raulkela is in Odisha. Durgapur is in West Bengal. Bokaro is again in West Bengal. The Salim steel plant it is again in West Bengal. Now let us come to see the iron and steel in the USA. And while before I continue with the iron and steel in USA, I would like to tell you that uh, TISCO, that is Tata Iron and Steel Company, it got a very great opportunity to increase or expand its business during the World War II, because the import of iron and steel had stopped from Britain. So it was Tatas which were not only providing the needs of the people inside the country, but also they were exporting the iron and steel abroad for the construction of railways due to World War II. Now we come to iron and steel in USA. Pittsburgh is the capital on the production of iron and steel worldwide, and it is situated in United States of America. So it is called